Excuse me. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get to it. We're doing more. We're back with more Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, let's go. Part 3 of the second case. Let's do this. 10th of January. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Somehow the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. So Sato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship? Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Screw up running everywhere. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? You wicked intruder! Dressed in all black! You're the devil! Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case! How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it! That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Yes? Inspector? Arrest this man, I know he did it! He's a criminal! It's the noise of he killed a man! Da! And he stole away as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Take away! He's a trespasser as well as everything else! Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are the devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There's a server on deck, throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Police Inspector Hasanaka, is there nothing you could do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. It's a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Okay. I don't think. Yeah, you can't move. Yeah, I don't. Okay. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my thing. You want me to show you where crayfish hibernates? Yeah, my friend. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. I was just starting to think she was my friend. Isn't there anyone who can help me out of this mess? I don't know how that. Can I get out? Listen, I'm sorry that we stuck in here without your permission, but get out now. You just need to investigate in here just to keep it. It's no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. This guy's obviously very reasonable. Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you, except show your way to ship's prison cell. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent. I didn't kill anyone. and trespassing and stowing away. Oh, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and, well, enough. You're guilty. Ship said his own place fit for you. Come on, there has to be someone, some savior to rescue you from this crisis. You got yourself in a difficult situation here by entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate this problem of this cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. Okay. I guess I just need to keep calm and... You know, that would be... Okay... Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Holmes, what are you doing there? What the... What are you doing up there? Like, Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it's my business to know what other people do not? And if this isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy, oh no. Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious to probably assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally? I wish to determine if it would bend a conceited looking hook on the wall so full of brag and bounce. Put him up. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not! You again, the great detective. Inspector, I confess that you've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved! By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to eliminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detectives greatly admire great deduction to the case. Ha! You have solved it, but even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is the stowaway, and here's the handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it! The trouble is, doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim, because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh! Locked room! That's the point! The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there's another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man! The ventilator? You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as a tree trunks. You were suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. But it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? I could hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks to be some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mrs. Sholmes, what are you doing? There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Yeah! Ah! What the? What? Hi? Hi, Sneaky. And let me introduce you all to the band. The Speckled Band! A snake? Indubitably. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake, isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Hmm? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes was right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asagi? It looks like he can't speak with that snake coat on his head. That is also really dangerous. Like, because considering, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a constrictor. Like, that is really dangerous. You do not want to do that. Like, do that around your neck or head. Like, I would advise as little movement as possible, Steven. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. What? Long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh yeah! Oh yes! The game is afoot! Oh boy. Topic 1. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet, you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. What? And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? Was this, like, the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you're trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's sloughed skin. What? Evidently, after this subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, then your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent slightly descended into the victim's quarters, and a ding-ling. In the dim light, it appeared that the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. I just love this presentation. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Okay. How Mr. Afligi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Huh? Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Could it be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death exclusively or conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left away by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You thought... It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed. You put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal has done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you would release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to stick its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. We're gonna need to fix a few things. But otherwise, pretty impressive. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Yay. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is key to the training of any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one with one left hand. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course. What's on your mind? It's just, about your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome your questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh well, good. Well, first of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example, the logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless! Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes! There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales in their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder! Please, don't be here with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if snakes have gone through the went through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. It does get there. You okay there? Genki desu. Genki desu. Genki desu. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions, and turn them into great ones like they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo! Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again! What? You did it again! You done it again! Your handcuffs are gone! Where'd they go? Fear not, I shall see them restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off! Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. So, let's try this again. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Let's fix this. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. He said there's nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet, you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Cosmo-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Holmes has quite read her correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment, and we look closely at Miss Pavlova. Okay. Aha! A claw scratch. Oh, Nahara-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too. Oh, boy! Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Yes!
There we go. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I'm sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain, that evidence is your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Okay, so the friend is... it's suspected. Another telltale glance! Without a doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent that we see before us. Not quite. It seems likely the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? That would be terrifying if they did! No, they don't. And they don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is it? What is it? What's the true identity of the friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, not her son. That's where we'll find the answer. Alright. Hey, are you okay, Bobra? The more I look at this creature, the more its stripe stands out. It's a very impressive snake, isn't it? Oh yes, it really is. And it seems to be doing its best to squeeze its poor sailor's head until it bursts. Yes, it's a terrifying sight, and slightly heartwarming at the same time. Anyway, it would probably be not a good idea to get too close. Hey, are you okay, bruh? She looked in this direction. Straight seemed and strong enough. Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. But I can't imagine how you could possibly fit through that ventilator. Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Kazuma's trunk when we boarded the ship. I would ask what that proves, but I think an equivocal little smile would be more. Okay. I'm curious what happens if I present something else.
Yes!
Oh, there are strikes. Forget how you could have brought him aboard, or how you fit into the ventilator. A true friend always finds a way for you. And what's more dependable friend he asked for than Seaman Biff strong enough! What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just follow the natural progression of the deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. Okay. Whoever it is, his friend must be small enough to pass through the ventilator. I really ought to narrow it down. Maybe scout around again. It's obviously the teapot. I have a feeling that it was this teapot that Miss Pavlova's eyes flickered over to before. Do you think this is the friend that she's been talking about? Well, we're all different, aren't we? Whatever we might say about it, if that's the way she feels. I don't think I'll say anything about it then. You and the teapot can discuss it instead. Wait, that's not what I meant! Okay, I know it's the photograph. But I'm
Yes!
I just want to know what he says about the teapot. Yes, I know what you're thinking. What is this man talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. The truth. Yes. Who could you have a more cozy relationship with than a shiny teapot? What precisely is intention with that, Mr. Naruto? Okay, like, man, I wanna mess up all the time, but I just can't. Okay, fine. It's the photograph. There's a cat. Also, look at this photograph in its frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's a little black creature she told me that caught my eye. We better take a closer look at this. That must be a stage costume she's wearing. It's quite stunning. I should like to have something like that. And she's wearing the 20,000 rubles on her head as well. Look, it's called a tiara on her son, and you shouldn't think of it purely in terms of its value. She must be a strong-willed woman to turn her back on the world stage and run away all on her own. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruto-san, for the blackest outfit? A black kitten. And from the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it.
Yes!
The little kitten! Without a doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes! The scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Oh boy. Daka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darko would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in quite a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't think this has nothing to do with any of this. But but it does. Your answer to the quandary is even now hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you're trying to, but failing to conceal. It'll only be a snake's slow skin. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Ah yes, ploys like that are Mr. Shulm's specialty. He so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that the skin of a snake, in which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Well, it's speckled, and it's a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort, and it looks like a handle on one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort of thing is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. That sounds positively adorable. Okay. So now we know it's a cat's toy.
Yes!
So, yes, the thing you're trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? The cat was in there. My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat toy to incite the creature to return. Ah, In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blind sub-Russian blue breeder cat by the name of Daka. A truly troublesome feline young Daka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. Oh, hey. Nice. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand, and then ran up the Velcro cord. Before I could do anything, she disappeared through the ventilator. Daka, she's so naughty. A beloved kitten. Meow. Yeah. Alright, second topic. So, moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there are no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. But it wasn't venom. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere in the Cosmo Summon's body. That's right, but Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Cosmo wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah yes, I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal, only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seems strong enough isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm that it at the crime scene. Yes, an explanation of the deceased's body will... Okay. I think it might actually be the... Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, he definitely did not... Like, I suppose... It's possible that he had to fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe Cosmo Summit, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix the seduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Okay. Let's see. I think it might be this.
Yes!
Yes! Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark was so prominently visible next to the victim's body is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. and the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Atsugi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Atsugi must have caught his foot at that point of the floor and tripped. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Ms. Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Atsugi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now you involuntarily glance between your high places you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links inside the trial case. Nope! It's something else. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? That can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But, if this part of Mr. Sholm's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Could it have been the tiara? Wait, somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here. It hasn't been dropped now, Haga-san. It's just been placed. I'm starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes. Stop trying to sound like the great detective. Can I look in the wastebasket? There's a wastebasket, paper basket. Brought to the first Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there yet. But it's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind playing tricks on you.
Yes!
Yep. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that wastebasket paper basket. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object. It would seem one that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Atsugi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Ms. Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that a part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the wastepaper basket in your cabin? Yeah. You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't know. In that hush-rush accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova to the little glass bell. That would be, Ah! Jackpot.
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, is the very bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka! I anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. Wow. Holy cow. Elementary. Oh boy. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. Yep. She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your head, I take it. Yes, and I had read the rules on the wall. I knew that I would not allow Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it would be safe to lure the kitten back again, like dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. Darka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary with Miss Pavlova trying to mistreat her pet. Cats do have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Cosmo was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seemed likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. But the SS barrier is a large vessel, but even she could pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asuka was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could have easily caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? Yeah, where is she now? Where's the kitty now? In the end, I managed to get her out and come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka's nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is as insufferable as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke up this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died, but I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it? And where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Piroska. What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from the cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect you to find him in here. How that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We're at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long with that close friend, without someone who understands? Could you find someone a little more human, who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Huh? Piroska does not have venom. He is harmless, very long but very gentle. He's adorable, like Granny. It's venomous. Yes, now he's hungry, so he's in a bad mood. But once I feed him, you'll see big smile. You feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like the same same like the same milk chicken? Ridiculous. That's drink milk of all your stupid stories. He's gonna eat mouse. Big fat round mouse. Ah. Oh, so is that what the mousetrap in the passageway up there is for? Of course. How else could I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing that says top of the food chain like looking in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. I'm the deuce! Did something so inept like a starring role! It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Piroska had nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. It feels off though. Something doesn't feel right about this. It just couldn't have been an accident, right? Miss Pavlova, I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikatoma? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It's just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Couldn't have been. I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't put my finger on it. Miss Sholmes? I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you have not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Not again! When did he do that? Especially as they're not on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was really hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours, was he not? Yes, Cosmo was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first. is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident, or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into this cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Hold it!
Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. This?
Yes!
What are you trying to make with that evidence? I'm starting to see how Cosmo's death really happened, I think. I think that you are starting to see nothing of the sort, and that was the evidence to prove it. Okay. If it was no accident, then what should it be looking for is one of two things. Either the absence of something you would expect to find at the scene of the accident, or the presence of something you wouldn't. Most competitiously put, my dear madam. Ah, I see. Your rather languid I see doesn't fill me with confidence, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe in you. Well, more than Jones does anyway. Thanks. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. Really? Okay, what could possibly... am I just being an idiot? Wait!
Yes!
The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Ozuki could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Ozuki could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death! Instant death! Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything! Because he was already dead! That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Ozuki's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova said was true. What? So set aside two then. Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves it was no accident. In other words... I am... This?
Yes!
This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already knew about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there's a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in the cabin? Yeah, that is true. Yes, but remember we found the other half of the glass bell in that paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh, no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asagi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asagi's—
Hold it!
You're wasting time! Someone else was there? Ah, of course, we know this! What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Yes! And the only other person in the cabin when young student died was you!
Yes!
Yes. It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I could have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message. To be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote this word wardrobe in Russian on the floor, in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there for the entire time. And then, the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor, for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asagi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. Of course. A single small lamp suspended over the ceiling would have barely cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of a tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Steven Stroganoff. Nina is one to see. She is daughter of a strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancing on the ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being a criminal. So that's it. You say when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I get my tooth. Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You're a great detective, you should know. Look through the eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go in the cabin, don't need her, not anyone. Only want to tell me the killer can walk through locked doors. Yes, it's impossible. He's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid? The bulkheads are not barred doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naohara did it earlier, so... Susanna-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So Steven Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. But the ship... Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door. without laying a finger on it. And in its very cabin, we can see traces of the method I have in mind of that being used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside. One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? One at the telling sign of the method. The bookcase. It's the bookcase.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how the books and the things have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe, yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susada-san doesn't know, or that isn't in her book at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over the books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. It was very obvious just after the emergency stop the ship made earlier. We had to come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... Hello, is anyone there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and blocked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asagi was killed... Yes! Exactly. Exactly. The SS Burium made another emergency stop? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had to run their hands across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asagi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of mind? You say Miriam made emergency stop. It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. No. Oh, it's simple enough. Are you forgetting that the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh, yes, of course! There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you to only press the button in times of emergency. Exactly. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. This sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed, it did a little earlier today. So he pressed the button? Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed! Whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship! I'll report to the captain! You're in much trouble now! Now, I'm sure all that can wait later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider? Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asagi, did the ship make an emergency stop or did it not? You are idiots! Buria is huge ships with many passengers. If we make an emergency stop even in the middle of night, there'll be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night? This.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to control the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? Da, that is correct. Why? In the ship's log here, this would be where you record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That is mine! Ah, you're rather carelessly left at the top the little makeshift bureau in the passageway up there. But as responsible passengers, we took it in our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That's what I put it always. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Holy miracle. Nothing recorded in the log? That is... Da! Because nothing happened! But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you? Indeed so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here, aboard the SS Buria. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish! If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because it... Thanks. Because if something as major as an emergency stop really happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anyone would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. But there's something else. What of the throbbing? Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We've all suffered with it. Oh, yes! I have a headache. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. Since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation really doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Cosmo looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it, but he doesn't like chicken. Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Yes, it is! My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night has been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a sulfuric, designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. It was drugged, alright. A sleeping drug. I mean, it could have been also been salmonella. But I mean, do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug, so no one would notice the chef's Hold on, of course it's not what Mr. Sholmes mean. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes! Well, okay. I'm sorry to say, any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over to the coals for aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I'll tell everything. If I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything, her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. We could not make our drug. I say dissolve. Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helping my comrade ashore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Beria slept soundly, thanks to that almost magical effect of the slumber-inducing potion, their evening meals had contained. So, that's what happened. The only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Sorry, I keep pressing that button. Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been a complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chickens in their cabin. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted away. And so, not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Oh boy! You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But I don't know about any of this. I am just a little girl. You'd like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. And I am a sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes! Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No, you must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two prefectories. Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Otsuki's death. What we're looking for is some trace of death, of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely. You were delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can do. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Chunky arms. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I guess let's look at everything. He has arms like tree trunks, doesn't he? Hairy tree trunks! Yes, he certainly has sailor arms. He is a born man of the sea. Even if I had been awake, I could have done anything about being dragged out of the wardrobe by this man. Naruhodo-san? Are you alright? You seem to be lost in thought. Oh, sorry. Blame those hairy tree trunks. Gosh. Jeez. Let's see. What about her right ear? She has such pink ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. Ah, I expect that's what we call an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It's really tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now the glove is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken.
Yes!
What? The dainty jewelry you're wearing on your ears, Miss Pavlova. Were we to find a piece of those earrings in Mr. Otsuki's cabinet, it would prove beyond a doubt that you were there. Although we haven't actually found anything, so... What a spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, and it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so... I thought I'd contribute to the show! This is my show, Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Sorry. Okay. So there when Kazuma died. I could think of two possible ways. We find a trace of something that the person in question left behind at the scene, or, if that's not possible, a trace of something that person took away from the scene. be that accidentally or deliberately. A trace of something someone took away. If you observe closely enough, I believe you will find examples of both. Give them a long, hard, and uncompromising stare from all sides. That's my advice. Okay. Okay, right ear, left ear. She has such cute ears among that beautiful hair. It's like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Ah, that's an earring. The crescent moon looks as part made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love more adornment like that. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Well, jewelry is beautiful now, Hoda-san. Is there anything else? It couldn't have been couldn't have been it. Anything else about this sailor's hat? Have you noticed something significant about Steven Stroganoff's hat? Oh, no, sadly not. I was just thinking that if only we found it in Cosmo's cabin, it would be also easy. That's true, a hat dropped to the scene would have been very conclusive evidence. That's a point. I'm sure I saw your university's, uniform hat at the scene somewhere. That is not a point! At least, not what I'd like you to make. Boy. Okay, is it the other ear? Do I bother trying that?
Yes!
Okay, it's not the ears. Okay. Let's actually make a save when we can. And let's try again. I was wanting you to hear it. I'm quite proud of it. I find myself wanting to never have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Oh, sorry. I'll try again. Okay, I just can't find anything else. Like... Because I tried both, I tried both ears. Chunky arms, like her coat, her hands, like nothing, like even her belt, like I just can't find anything to really, because there's no way that his hat is fit his chunky arms. Could it? Aha! There you are. Oh, look at this. It's some kind of stain, and it's in an unusual place. Yes, you're right. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken. Ink. I look at the color too. It's clear where this came from. Yep. There we go. There we go. Steven Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Yes. I don't know where the dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform, and I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves what that stain on the back really is. It's, like... Okay. I think it's clear we have it.
Yes!
There we go. Yes, this photograph and the ink and the ink shows that that's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color of ink, but purple. Ah, the penny drops! At last! Now you see the significance! The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it could possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Burya do emergency stop and both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. Then when I looked inside, I saw a student boy on the floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asagi's cabin. Then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell to the floor. Yes, that is right. That is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifelessly on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, into the... The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Asagi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened the door of student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last? Ah! Something very nearly slipped my mind! Oh, Mr. Sholmes. This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, then there is one particular area of this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah! Hiccups! What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? If Cosmo tripped and fell, by some terrible stroke of bad luck from his neck, which part of the photograph? Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? I can't! Freaking hiccups kill me! Yeah, I have, like, hiccups get me really bad. Like, they actually startled me. Okay, I'm gonna go chug on some water real quick. Be right back. Okay. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? Everything? Okay. I... His finger?
Yes!
This word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Kazuma. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point. Very true. It's certainly peculiar, but it's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particular crust detail was orchestrated by the culprit. I mean to identify another point. Oh, I see. Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. In my opinion, if you landed as the victim appears to have done here, it would be most unnatural. I'm sure you'll reach the same conclusion. How thoughtful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Your gentle guidance. The fact that you landed on his front?
Yes!
Surely! I have no idea! I have no clue. When noting a crucial point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open. They were open. And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry, I'll try that. I'm trying! I think it's plain why Mr. Streams might unnatural, isn't it? That's the word! Underneath his fingertip, surely. A particular cross detail was orchestrated by the culprit. No, I mean to identify another point. Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. Why do I? His fist?
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem right. Okay. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Oh! 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 Oh. I'm an idiot! I'm an idiot! Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost you might say, as though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty. Took a few liberties! Of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? Please tell me it's the earring. Please tell me it's the earring. Please tell me it's the earring. Please tell me it's the earring! Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Well, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? Yes! Yes! This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks It looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruto. That is the key. Right? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Cosmo's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe. Find the answer with your own eyes. It's right there. Look over here, like green shells. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. I suspect that's what caught an earring. It's like a pretty little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It's really tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Like maybe it broke off. So all that's left is a clasp card that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Right there.
Yes!
Right there. Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear, even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding on must have broken, I suppose. Yeah, what? But looking at your other ear, I notice a crescent moon. I don't believe it. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asagi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. Aha! In other words, last night, in Mr. Asagi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asagi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh, no. It just... No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Oh boy. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, a fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb up to this huge ship, and then when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after a horrible long day. Saka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle, and I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Daku would not come back. What are you doing here? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I sure know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land far away in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yet, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell the truth. I hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no choice. I see. So you've run away. Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Oh no! He was going to pull the cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted, and then Decker jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And he turned around to look at me. I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch, and that's when you went to fetch help. I heard Dina cry out and float on the floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. That's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes. I went to the cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show no one was there. And then I found stowaway and wardrobe, still sleeping. Right. That was when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway. I closed the wardrobe doors and pulled back strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that was the only reason Sasada-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to good place and used ink that was spilling to right on floor. I wrote wardrobe so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe to find stowaway. And tell me, what did the glass spell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. The agent went back to the cabin, and I finished the job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, the SS Beria did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Ms. Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried that he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first. What are you doing here this time of night, Inspector? Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Yes, meaning me, who's supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Atsuki really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. Huh? Well, what do you think, Mr. Naruto? He wasn't going to. Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruto, the day's work is done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take in a moment? He was going to the wardrobe. Can we determine whither the young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still, that cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kama-sama. Yes, that's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruto? Yes. If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? It was the wardrobe. The wardrobe. My wardrobe. I was in there though. At the time, of course, sleeping soundly too soundly. If only I hadn't eaten that chicken that was placed with the sleeping drug. If only he'd woken me up. Then maybe this tragedy would never have happened. He was. He was going to.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Natsuki's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Oh, no. Another opinion. Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Atsuki intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure Mr. Atsuki was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really. I'm so sorry. What have I done? So at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Beria was finally laid to rest. happened to Miss Pavlova now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed up to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detectives could speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Holmes could do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. See, Straganov. I wanted to help an angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost a good friend. I will go with you now. I'll give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosmo's death feels like such a waste, but... well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the council to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes, I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. It looks like my study tour of Great Britain is over before it's even begun then. To think that only days ago Cosmo and I were laughing together how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Is this the son? Narahara-san, I didn't know you'd returned. Oh, well, I haven't been long. Inspector Hasanaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life could be over just like that. Rosetta-san. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. And it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Narahara-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector, my duty was to see Asaki-san safely to Great Britain, and I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least. Huh?! Sholmes! Surprise with an honor? What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Thanks! I really appreciate you I thought we were in warm, feelsy territory. Now I'm just freaking ticked. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry. So I decided to restore them. For old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. Thinks this is funny? Mr. Sholmes, I do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you'll be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking on the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. Terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice of both Great Britain and Japan. It was will be one lawyer and one assistant. It was to be... In the light of Mr. Osugi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer be a go-ahead. No, I don't care for me, but... Mr. Sada-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer and one study tour can continue, surely. Sholmes. But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications. We know of no other one. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Mrs. Sato. Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England's shores. So... Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what it must be to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo. It's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all that in just 40 days? Hold my sake! There's only one way to find out! I will work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma, he said there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it, and I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Mrs. Sato? Fine. I think it's a wonderful idea. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness! Yet fascinating, would you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest! Give us fascination! Think for yourself! Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of the morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Oh my gosh. Very well, I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next, and how to best make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer. I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's whatever the Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Osuki clan for generations. Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it. Always. So then, Mrs. Sato. It seems like we'll be working together for some time, yet to come. It would be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. I shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need! But, before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you two. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. What?! I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times! That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Take hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it. No, I don't even know how! I never thrown anyone in my life! Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he say that? I presume that was a form of Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called the Susato Takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I mean, I remember that scene from a Sherlock thing. I mean a Herlock thing. Like there he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Yeah! Ah! Ah! 6! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. That is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no, that was a Susato squash. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered in my mind. Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations in the Yasuki clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, take a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is a soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So Though its name compels its ruler to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Holy cow! Holy cow! And that was only the second case! We're not even halfway through! Holy cow!